So there is a whole bunch of things that's happening with arbitrum right now, and we won't go into that because that's a whole different ball game. But I'm gonna tell you what's happening on the charts and whether this is actually a good or bad thing for arbitrum. Is there any kind of hope? Is there any kind of hope? What you're seeing here on the chart is a rising wedge on the chart. This is a little bit important because we're going to come back to that. But right now on the small time frames, this is 30 minutes time frame. So you can see up here it is rising a little bit towards upside in a rising wedge after all of the FUD. And it's not actually FUD, it's actually a real thing what's happening with arbitrum right now. But there are a lot of people right now hating on the arbitrum right now because of what happened, and I want to go into that, but the price did drop big time. So let's remove these lines up here and go a little bit to the hard time frames up here, and what you can see here that the arbitrum dropped like a brick down 11% towards downside once that happened. I don't know if that actually happened up here, but I would assume it did happen over here, and it dropped down like 11% towards downside. So the big question is this done? Is this gonna go lower? Does the chart look bad? And I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. Number one, this move towards downside, look at the daily time frame over here, did not go below previous support level. So down here we had the support level at 1.16. We did not go. Right now we get a low and we get a higher low still on the chart. Over here we got a high and we get a higher high on the chart. We still have these highs and these lows. So unless this daily candle goes all the way down here and starts closing lower low, then we have a problem. Then it's like, Houston, we got a problem. Right now we don't have a problem. So technically, this dump towards downside did not actually affect us that much. It did, but was big dump, and it might have been this capitulation dump over here, because oftentimes you'll see price do something like this. I'm gonna explain to you. It goes slowly towards downside and it has this big dump, and then kind of recovers and goes towards upside, right? So over here we got this slow dump, slow move down here, big dump, and right now we need to get above a certain level up here. I'm going to show you the level, and then once it's above that, it recovers and goes towards upside. So whether the you got to ask yourself, is arbitrum dead? Is it gonna die after this? And I don't think it's gonna die just yet. It's still working as it it's supposed to work. The problem is that the voting does not matter. Just like in the real world, right? So what do we have here on the chart? Now we can draw some kind of nice lines, and I'm going to show you a very nice trend over here that we are in, which is actually going to increase your hope that this is going to play out. Now let's do the trend line up here like we just did. What you see here right now, this is very important, right? This over here is very important. So we got this rising wedge that we started talking about, right? But this rising wedge is going exactly at the resistance. So I think that right now we are going to have a little bit more pullback towards downside. Rising wedge, resistance level, a little bit more pullback towards downside. Why do I not think that this is going to go a lot more towards downside? Well, if this was actually a very, very bad thing with arbitrum, it would have dropped already down big time. It would just do something like this over here. So the fact that it's actually trying to recover up here, it shows the bullishness up here a little bit, but the pullback down here might actually happen back down to these lows at 114 or something like that. Now look up here. This is a very important resistance line. Now we out of this resistance line, we can actually draw a channel, which is actually very, very nice. And I'm going to show you the channel up here. It goes down here, give or take. I think it goes something like this over here. Maybe on big, small time frames. What was the time frames up here? Give or take. Yeah. So over here might be a channel. Sorry about that. I had to go back and research. This is actually the channel up here towards upside. Right now hitting that towards downside. Over here you can see this midline is actually being very, very nice. But we are going in downtrending channel over here. Now, the important thing about downtrending channel, they have always more probability to break towards the upside. So you can see up here in this downtrending channel, we are doing this rising wedge up here towards the resistance. So pullback down here is not unthinkable, but we should keep these these lows down here, 115 give or take. This should be very important levels of support down here, just below the previous lows up here. And if we do pull back down here, this needs to be considered as some kind of double bottom, because this tends to break towards the upside, right? On the other hand, we are still channeling towards downside, and what I always tell people is that once you're in some kind of channel between some kind of support and resistance line, it can always break towards upside. It can always channel and a break, and it always channel and break. It can channel towards downside for a very long time before it actually breaks. So until you have a breakout out of the channel, you can actually be technically bullish or bearish. So we are neither bullish or bearish. Right now we are technically a little bit more bearish than bullish, because this is going towards downside, but this small term up here, rising wedge up here, should break down, but we are looking for some kind of supports down here below us, and then bounce out of that towards the upside. If you look some kind of moving averages up here on the chart, you'll see up here this very small time frame up here on the 1 hourly, we're trying to climb the moving averages, but it just, you know, slowly climbing up here. This move towards upside, just coming to the moving averages up here. So we are still looking at this, you know, this can actually reject us, you know, a little bit more towards downside before we actually do this move towards upside up here. This is only the first retest of the moving averages, and on the daily time frame we went back below the 10 moving average over here, but we do have a higher lows on the chart and we are still below the support level over here. You know, if this stands just like this, you know, for next day, then you got these big candles towards downside, you got a doji down here, it might be some kind of reversal pattern and then explosion towards the upside. We don't actually know, but we got let's go a little bit back in time over here, but we got this very nice channel over here, so we are following the channel, and as long as this channel is channeling towards downside, but important thing to remember, channels towards downside has always bigger probability to break towards upside. Now, whether this news about voting and stuff like that, the thing that happened with arbitrum is actually very bad for the coin, I don't know. But always assume if thing is not that, it's gonna recover, right? It's gonna recover. Guys, they're spreading FUD, they're trying to push the price down to buy cheap. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I'm not into fundamentals, we are into technicals, so, you know, there's that. Hit the like button if you like this, and, you know, come back tomorrow, maybe we do another video and update if it breaks out. Bye bye guys, bye bye.